happiest day. Best 8 minutes. The best 8 minutes of your life. Best dream you've had? Worst dream you've had? Best dream you've had that hasn't come true, therefore becoming your worst dream realized. Oh, sorry. I didn't notice you there. How are you all doing this evening? Nice to see you. Nice. The origin of that is not where I've gotten it from. I got it from Bruce Dickinson during Iron Maiden concert. Live After Death, I believe it was called. Good evening, everyone. It's good to see you all. Pavi, Q, colorful. Y'all are persistent, consistent, wonderfully punctual. Nick, hello. Butterfly Composer and Nicholas. Butterfly Composer, your first law exam is done. I should have known. I'm sure you've said it before, but you were talking about mens rea, I think, in the Soma. The Soma live stream and the differences between mens rea and actus rea. These are not phrases known by the general public. So congratulations. Will you be L2, L3? Oh, uni, that's right, you're British. Sorry. That's right, we had a long conversation, didn't we? This is why I don't have a law degree. Who has sailor fan art? I don't know. Q, I hope this is the permanent time for these streams because I have recently adjusted my work. What? First of all, Q, that's crazy. But second of all, yeah. I do surprise streams as well as regular streams, but I've been pretty consistent about streaming every Wednesday at 7:30 for the last it's been like 24 weeks because I think I missed. No, I think I've only actually missed one. Maybe I've missed two. I said I was going to miss last week, and I'll be perfectly honest with you, was darn close to missing this week as well. 'Cause Oh, that's good. I will give 12-ounce cans this. It seems like they make sense. There's more surface area. They have more of a fizz when you first pop them open. But man, I can't even stand holding these things. They're big and like the aluminum is so thin. Look at that. Does not feel like that on the 7.5 fluid ounce cans as opposed to the 12-ounce fluid ounce cans, which I didn't even know it was 7.5. I thought they were like 6. I thought it was like half. I was a little disappointed once I realized that it was nearly two-thirds the size of a full-sized adult Coke. Oh, Poppy, that's sweet. Y'all are too kind. Oh, butterfly. Well, this is why I don't have a. Guess what? It's a big shock. I don't have a plan for tonight because honestly, like it's been a pretty horrible few days, and I'm hoping that I can count on my simps to cheer me up and to cheer each other up, like we all seem to do. Yeah, and nobody who wants to be depressed. Hello, Chels. Chels always seems up. It's gotta partially just be the avatar. I can't look at that Paul McCartney attempting to be serious face without feeling a little. There you go. Yeah, I mean, I just took it from, Uncle Tupelo, I believe, covered the song, and in the song it is heaven is where there's no depression. So essentially, he's singing, I want to go where there's no depression. My home is heaven. I'm going there. So let's see, who else? Vincent. Hello, Vincent. Yeah, it's been a bit. Have not seen you in a little while. Good to see you. We don't speak of. Let's not make tonight about Carl. I regret Carl. I apologized at the time. I didn't even flip the switch on Carl, if you recall, Butterfly Composer. I touched the sphincter, which up until that point, touching sphincters, for those who don't know for those who didn't watch the Soma live stream, this is probably sounding very bizarre, but up until that point, touching sphincters just healed you. It didn't actually ever turn off power or do anything like that. So it's weird because there was that big power switch there, and then there was the sphincter, and I touched the sphincter, and I think we just got our soundbite for this live stream. But doing that is what eliminated Carl. Granted, I would have offed him anyway, but I would have at least tried to be a little more, I don't know. I was about to say humane. I tried to be something about it. Maddie, that's another avatar. I look at that avatar. I realize that's actually you, right? But smiling and happy, that's great. You just bought yourself a guitar. That is wonderful. I have a few of them here. Have you played it before? Here's the first chord, C, right? But more interesting chord, add your pinky in. You get it's a much more interesting chord. So a lot of people will learn C first, C and G, right? But you add things like, flatted fifths and diminished sevenths, and you can turn, happy chords into kind of weird, maybe slightly sorrowful chords, which we definitely don't want to do tonight. Tonight, let's keep everything in a major key, so it's very happy. None of this. None of this. No. No. Oh no. No, none of that. Interesting. Everybody who has tried to write music, I'm sure, has done this at some point in their lives. But I was trying to write something, and it's actually in a video. I think it's in the Tenor video, the most recent video. And I was sitting there going, and I was like, yeah, I love this. And I was building from there, and I was like, wow, I like that a lot. Maybe I can make something out of it. And then, of course, I heard it. It's called, I think, Until the Light, something about light or something. It's in a dozen movies, at least. At least the main sort of chord progression is in about a dozen movies. One of them being Arrival, I think it's just called. The Arrival is the one with Charlie Sheen. Arrival is the one with Amy Adams. It's in Arrival. And that ticked me off, because I was like, oh, I came up with something that I enjoy hearing. Right? That doesn't happen often. I should have known. Like, basically, if I come up with something that I enjoy, that should immediately be a tip-off that I probably subconsciously picked it up from somewhere else. Anyway, Maddie, and look at how you got a guitar and I turned it into something about me. I'm sorry. It's a great time to about me again. It's a great time to be practicing guitar, right? You've kind of stuck at home, can't go out as much. It's a great time to woodshed, work on those skills. Louis McKay, I recognize the name and the avatar. Hi. Let's keep going. Kit Kat Rat-a-tat, nice to see you too. LQ Flores, hi. I don't know. Maybe I've seen you before, but I don't know. I'm sorry. Oh dear. No, not gonna bring. Well, look, you show up. You're always here on time. And I value that. I think that's fantastic. Flaglow. Oh, well, it's always good to see you. And your avatar always makes me feel good too. Oh my gosh, Scottish Undertones, formerly ASMR Muzz. I have to apologize that I missed your premiere. that I wanted to go see. So ASMR Muzz has a recent video. If you don't know ASMR Muzz, you should check out his channel. But he recently put up a video where he's on board a spacecraft, like going into space, and I think it's really well done. So I'm sorry that I missed that. You hear them dogs? You hear them dogs? Xava. How are you doing, Xava? How's Brittany? How's Brittany treating you? How are the rolling hills and the vineyards and all the things I imagine Brittany to be that it probably isn't, but in my head that's the way it appears. Xava, I imagine when you open your door, you see like descending, rolling hills with that kind of low-hanging fog that doesn't even cover the tops of the hill. It just kind of touches the bottom. You can see it. It's almost like little pools of fog. And that you can see vineyards from your front door, and that you have trellises like on either side of the door to your house with, strange French vines going up the side, and probably a little bit of absinthe. Well, you have a strong presence. I'm catching up. I'm sorry. I apologize. Yeah, it's too big a Coke. Oh, what the hell is this? Chels, what are you talking about? Put the Coke in a glass. I forgive you, but I would never do that. The sharp bite of the aluminum, or aluminium, for my friends across the pond, of which most of you appear to be, adds it's like Pop Rocks, like a sip of Pop Rocks. I'll tell you. So Trump, just moments before I hit the go live button, released a Twitter video via the White House account, which I think violates the terms and conditions of his ban, but I don't know for sure. But in that video, he condemned. He was actually unequivocal in his condemnation of violence, future violence. He didn't accept any blame. But this late in the game, that's like so clearly a don't throw me in jail tactic, in my opinion. However, it will probably, I think, be effective. There's 20,000 National Guard in D.C. right now. They were covering, I'm sure everybody saw the footage, they're coating the floor of the Capitol. I don't think the Proud Boys are going to try anything on Inauguration Day if there's 20,000 National Guard there. Am I nervous? I'm nervous about the things that he's doing that maybe we don't know about. I haven't looked this up. I wanted to look at, like, if he pardons, that's a matter of public record. There's no way, and I don't know how many pardons can get through, like at what speed. I don't know if he could just have like a list of pardons. I know he has a list of pardons that he's going to just push through at the last second. Could he theoretically have a list of 300 people that he pardons on January 19th? I don't know. Does it take time for that to process? I don't know. But I'm not and maybe this is naivete on my part, but I'm not as nervous as maybe I should be. I don't think the inauguration is going to. I don't think there's going to be a problem with the inauguration. I think what we saw was it. I think that was it. I do think, moving beyond the 20th, the 21st to, the next, I hope he still gets impeached. So, he won't run again. But either way, he's still going to be out there drumming up support from his base. And once, his lawyers give him the all clear, he'll go back to the rhetoric, I'm sure, if he hasn't already. Like, it's been a minute. We've been live for 20 minutes now, so, he might have already gone back. I don't know. I want to get kind of down the chat to make sure that I'm caught up. Nepasi, hello, how are you doing? Joe Staples. Oh man, people come and say hi and they say bye. Probably didn't even get to hear me say hi. Oh yeah, Carl Semyon? Yeah, they kind of haunt me too. Don't track me, bro. So last week was your first week? Oh, I'm glad that you liked it. This week shan't be nearly as exciting. Colorful dreams? Well, the fact that you were able to forget Carl once means you can forget Carl again. Carl forgot you. Carl forgot everything. Carl is where there is no depression. Maddie. Cool. Yes, I've heard this concept, but I don't know. Hextech Gunblade. I'm a big fan of your name. I'm having trouble deciphering your avatar, but hello. All right, Neil. I don't recognize your avatar, but I'm pretty sure I remember your name. How is it going? Well, I'm sure there's not. I'm sure, I don't know what I'm talking about. I have no idea. It's France. Look, it's close enough. I'm describing Kent. Strange French vines, because I don't, this is my, showing my provincial knowledge, my provincial nature. It's coming. You're forgiven, Shells. Oh, I got to get to the bottom here. Lady Nerevar. I feel like has it been a little while? You weren't around last week, I don't think. Maybe you were. A new 742. Yes. Kind of miss his tweets, though. You know how whenever there's obviously, I say obviously so much. That's one of the tics I gotta stop. Obviously is a word that doesn't really need to exist. And an adverb, and unnecessary, and redundant. and repetitive and Department of Redundancy Department. You have friends there. Are you saying you have friends in the National Guard in D.C.? Alec, hi from Los Angeles. Hi from D.C. to Los Angeles. Coast to coast. And a bunch of people across the pond. I'm still amazed. Oh, that's sweet, Hextech. I do feel like if more people watched, it's sort of a double-edged sword, as people have pointed out, right? There is something very nice about a small group where I feel like I know everybody to differing extents, but I feel like I know personalities. I know Nasha's gonna make fun of me. I know Butterfly Composer's gonna make fun of me. I know Q's gonna make fun of me. The trend. It's a trend here. However, maybe I will have the last laugh. Right now, I don't think it's possible. So if somebody do me a favor, don't actually do it. I'm not asking you to do it. But is the option to super chat a possibility? I think it is. I think it is. Because the channel is now monetized, so you might see ads before the streams. If you're watching them, if you're rewatching them, which no one rewatches them, so the joke's on YouTube. Butterfly Composer. What are we talking about? The story about the we're talking about the story about the guy who was arrested, who was trafficked. And Nick, yes. So the pictures, they certainly seem like they feel like they're not really all that necessary, right? They're kind of the pictures I've seen, they're lying on the hard marble floors, backs up against the Corinthian columns, wishing they were in Brittany, rambling out amongst the vineyards and the hillocks and the vales and the strange vines. Yes, that was the point, that I was making colorful dreams. Oh, goodness. Oh, no super chat yet. Okay, well, it's in... I guess it's in progress or something. We were able to reach the 4,000 view hours, 1,000 subs, and I finally, and I think I said this, I don't know if I said that, I don't think this happened in the last stream, but I think I said it on the game stream, and finally, the 100,000 Silver Creator Award for the Phoenician Sailor channel was, well, I don't know if it was sent yet, but I got the notification and put my little name in there. I was like, make sure it's spelled O-E. Don't put E-O. No, it's not S-H-U-N. No, okay, Sailor. Yes, that's pretty. No, it's not an E. It's an O at the end of Sailor. No, don't put ASMR. I don't want ASMR on it. So you have to fill out what they're gonna write. So now it's just a waiting game. So it doesn't even matter. Like if I dip back below. Good. Thank you. The Skilgrim, how are you doing? Leah Evans, how are you doing, Leah? I've missed the last few of your plays, and I intend to remedy that. So Leah Evans puts on, everybody knows, but just in case there's somebody here who doesn't, she writes plays and performs them on her channel. I think Sundays and sometimes Wednesdays. This is a great, what a concept. Q, thank you so much for putting this out, because I feel like gotta slam that subscribe and the bell. And that way when I at 11 p.m. decide, because that's how it's going to be for Soma. I am going to keep playing Soma, by the way. But I'm not going to plan it out. I think I'm just going to do it when I'm in the mood. Yeah, where is PG? That son of a... Oh, as if on cue, PG makes himself seen. Ramona. Stretching your ears, do you mean you're getting 00 gauge? Leela Brunn, I remember your name. So you have been around before, but I think you're fairly new. So it's good. Good to see y'all. I think, Lady Nerevar, I think this is a reasonable goal. You know, plus or minus 9 zeros. Man, I don't even know who you're talking about when you bring up that name. I don't know who that is. If that person were... I don't know, Chad, he stopped showing up. He was showing up for the Last of Us 2 live streams, but then I have not seen him since then. Yes, I am. I'm the spokesperson for Apple Forks. Are they still being made? I don't know. But yeah, if you would like to check out me doing my, what was this? Was it like 4 years ago now or something? 5 years ago now? A wonderful commercial that I did for Super Bowl Sunday. I think it was 2015 or 2016 on Heather Feather's channel. Heather Feather ASMR. I don't believe she's active anymore, but she was really good. She was ahead of her time. I saw here, yes, Lady Nerevar. Let's talk about that. If I can get that to show up. Officially a voice actor. So how, say more. Say more on that. God, I cannot seem to click on the... If you want to see the commercial, the Apple Forks commercial. Actually, I don't know if you just... I'm actually not 100% sure what's the best way to find it. Oh my God, you can just search Apple Forks in Google. And yes, it's February 7th, 2016. 5 long years ago. Let's can we watch it? How will this work? I don't know if this will work or not, but we're about to try it. Let's see if it's gonna let me do this. Look at this. Look at this. Okay. Let's see if it's gonna work. I don't hear any sound. Shoot. Not gonna work. Oh, young Phoenician sailor. Look at you. With your short hair and your normal looking beard. And your rack focus. I miss you, buddy. Oh, here's why. But I'm here to... Okay. Apple forks. Here we go. Apples. Apples. We love them. We do. They're a fantastic source of vitamin C, fiber, and potassium. But holding on to them is not so great. It's always difficult. I mean, we've all been there. You're trying to do the right thing, eat right, by partaking in one of nature's most delicious snacks. When this happens, hate that. I'm here to tell you, slippery apples are not your fault. And now, that's Coke, by the way. Finally has an answer to this as if you didn't know problem. That's actually Coke. Introducing the apple fork. After countless trials, we've meticulously engineered the ultimate in apple control and consumption. Now, you'll no longer have to worry about apples with their own agendas. Yeah. With the apple fork, you can keep your apple securely fastened while you reap the nutritional benefits. Go for it. I don't even think I folded that. I think it was a mealy apple. You can find the apple fork that's right for you. Apple forks are available in travel sizes. And there are specialty apple forks for women, as well as men. Yeah, men can use them too. So do your part to eat smart. Remember, an apple fork a day keeps the apples at bay. You hear that, you little... Apple forks, now available at better produce markets everywhere. Hey, not in front of them. Yes. Apple forks. That was fun. That was I was in more of a collabing mindset back then. I'm not really all that collabby anymore. I tend to just do stuff on my own. So Lady Nerevar, what are you doing voice work for? You probably said it already, but I would like to know. Dirty Potato, aren't they closed? Pumpkins. I don't know why they don't just do like a spirit type pop-up store. Like, I don't know why the demand for pumpkins would be particularly high at any other time of the year. But, you know, they're really clear about what they do. Like, you know what to expect when you go to pumpkins. What is a VTuber? Me too. I enjoy stranger Stranger Than Fiction? The Will Ferrell movie where Emma Thompson is narrating his life. Oh, cool. Well, yeah, definitely keep us updated. I would love to know if you get cast anything. I'd want to play it. Oh, yes. Okay. What are my thoughts on VTubers? I think if you're not comfortable putting yourself out there in front of a camera, but you want to have some representation of yourself, how's it any different than a static avatar? Like, I think it's great. If it allows you to do something that anxiety or shyness maybe prohibited before, if it breaks down that wall for you, wonderful, do it. Oh, hey, KJ. Good to see you. I guess I'm thinking of VTubers in the sense of like you have sort of a live facial animation rig, so I could just live stream, kind of like I do. Like right now, I've done it with Character Animator, right? It'll just here's something that's bugging me, right? Why can I go in Instagram and apply a filter that changes the color of my eyes, but if I want to do it in Premiere or After Effects, it takes hours and masks and effects. Why is Instagram the one pushing the curve on that? I'll tell you why. It's because Adobe, they don't have a lot of competition, so they can kind of sit on their hands a bit. Sons of bitches. I see messages that are deleted. What happened? What was deleted? Let's see. Oh, I'm guessing it's a message from Maddie, which I shan't. If you deleted it and you don't want it, then I won't. I'm not going to do it. Yeah, see, I'm talking about, I guess I'm talking about it in the more opening the field up for those who don't want to show their face for whatever reason. So who wants to talk and get me in a better mood? That kind of did a little bit. That didn't. Not that. If you do, you know the email. Maddie, it's not that big of a deal. I think when it comes to VTubers who are specifically trying to be, I guess, overtly sexual, the same rules apply, I think, right? Regardless of if you're virtual or not virtual. So, right, if your virtual avatar is pretending to be a 16-year-old girl, there's a problem with that. Oh, hey, Space Age ASMR. Definitely send good vibes. I checked out your channel the other day. You should check out Space Age ASMR's channel. It's very cool. And let's check my email and see who has... Oh, what I did get... I don't know if I should be sharing this. The Skillgrim, if you email me and say, I want to talk, I will send you a link. And if you click the link, we can video, audio chat. You know, like Skype. So this is maybe, I don't know if this is something I should be sharing or not. But I just thought it was funny. I thought it was funny, and it lifted my spirits a bit, because, like I said, was not in the greatest of moods the past few days. Have to edit it real quick. Should have done this before, but I can do it real quick here. Done. Edit markup. Let's mark this up so I can cover the names. Why won't you let me write? Let me write. You gotta let me write bigger than that. God damn it. Okay. All right. Just do this real quick. This is riveting, I'm sure, for everybody. Riveting. That's what I'm known for. Riveting content. Okay. Done. AirDrop. Mac Pro. Come on, Mac Pro. It's a tiny little thing. There it is. Sending, really? Like it's taking that long to send this tiny little thing? So I just thought this was funny. I think it's funny. People don't think it's funny. Or maybe people will think I'm like humble bragging or something. Which maybe, I guess maybe I am. Fuck, man, I don't know. Yeah, I got a Twitter DM the other day. I just thought this was funny. I got a Twitter DM the other day, and this was it. And I just blacked out what's there. Why can't I? I thought it was funny, one, because sort of out of left field to get a DM from GB, and the way that she phrased it, and also like if I was able to tell you what she asked, all it was just for a line in something, but I can't say what it is for. But it's just like the way that she phrased it, I thought was pretty funny. Oh, this is a Monty Python reference, I'm assuming. Hey, Jason and Michelle. Yeah, that was GB. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go to my Gmail. My Amazon order is on the way. Joy. Good for me. My Cameo is on the way. My Cameo is ready. I got a Cameo as a joke gift for my ex-wife who's engaged now. And when we were young, we used to watch Kids in the Hall. And I went on the Cameo website, and Kevin McDonald from Kids in the Hall, he'll do a Cameo for $40. That made me feel awful. Like that's not the... It doesn't seem right that, and not only that, like, got it real quick. Like, asked him for it. Clearly, like, it was sent right to his phone, and he recorded it like a couple minutes after. But anyway, it was pretty funny. No, I don't see anything here. And there's a good reason for that. Because I'm on the wrong account. Hi, Lisa. Okay. Let's see. While I'm here, got an email. Someone looking for ASM artists for their doctoral research. They have a survey for me to fill in. Well, I might do it. I might not. YouTube sponsorship. Do you have a cat? Hi, Phoenician Sailor. I hope you are staying safe from COVID-19. We're planning quarter one for a health monitoring cat litter box called Pretty Litter. Scope would be one 60-second integration in a video in February and one in March. Would you be interested in being considered for the plan? If so, complete this form. Please note, you must have a cat to participate. No tengo un gato. All right, the first person in the list who wants to talk happy stuff. How come I don't? Let's get it going. Let's get it going. All right, I am responding. And let's see. So I would love to talk to new people. I would love to talk to new people, but I mean, like, there's only 35 or 36 of y'all, so I've spoken to most of you, so I guess I can't really be too choosy about that, or um, then it won't happen. So I sent a response to somebody, but and boom. And boom.
Hello, it's me
Hi,
again.
Lady Nerevar. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
I can hear you okay too.
Good,
Um,
good.
so super exciting. But so my understanding was you had been doing, or you had been doing this stuff before, right? I guess I'm wondering what's different.
A little bit. So last time I talked about it, I had been cast. I think I'd sent the lines over for a Silent Hill in a nutshell video, and then a like Destiny 2 machinima drama thing. Um, which both are done, and I got in contact with recently. Do you know the game Warframe?
Of course, yes. Well, not of
Yes.
course, but yes, I do know.
I do not have a cat, I'm afraid, Pavi.
You're not eligible for
I would
pretty
I would
litter.
love to have a cat. I love cats, but my family hate them. So
Uh, uh,
yes, but yeah,
I don't like cats. Shh.
what?
Don't tell anyone else in chat, though.
Ah. Um, but yeah, thingy Era, the sentient from like some of the newer updates, the guy who voices him, I ended up getting in touch with him, talking for a while, and he's basically now my coach for voice stuff.
Oh, how'd you swing that?
So, there's a streamer who I first found when they were doing the TennoCon 2020 art panel called Mia Byte. Um, and she's like a trans streamer, so went and watched her for a while. And then one night, she was doing a Among Us session with a few other like streamers and stuff. And Antonio is his name, the voice actor. He had joined in for a bit. I joined just as it was ending, chatted for a little bit. Turns out he streams, so I watched his stream for a while. Joined his Discord. He's got a whole channel about like getting into voice acting. And then since I was the only one really asking a bunch of questions, it just sort of went to DMs, and then I was like, "Oh, hey, like I'm thinking of doing classes if you want." So just jumped right into it.
That is awesome. And
So yeah, it's
have you had,
been.
so you've had classes?
Yes,
Like you,
so there's been only two so far. One of them was some vocal exercises, mainly about like being able to properly bring out emotions. So being able to like portray being afraid or being angry or annoyed or whatever. And then the second one was more focused on like the business side of it. Um, so
I would think that would be really valuable, right? The business one,
mm,
right? Because obviously, right, like acting lessons are super important,
yeah,
especially when it comes to voice, where it's its own particular medium, and you can't. Uh, you might. I feel like the voice actors that I've heard that I have appreciated have been those who don't really necessarily try to make up for the fact that they are just vocalizing in their performance, because they maybe lose sight of the fact that in most cases there will be representation of what they're saying on the screen. So in the past, I've dealt with voice actors who it seems like they're trying to, um, it seems like they think maybe it's just going to be a blank screen and all you'll hear is their voice. And so they have
yeah,
to get everything that they want into the delivery, um, which isn't the case, right? It's not like a play. In fact, if anything, like often it's more nuanced than say, certainly more nuanced than theater, but maybe even more nuanced than TV, right? Because you're like you're more directly interacting with in most cases the voice actor that you're interacting with, right?
yeah.
Um, so, but I would think that the business side of it would be. Were there any secret? Can you let out any secrets about the business
Um,
side?
it was mainly sort of a quick overview on like social media stuff. So like, putting out YouTube stuff, if you get cast in something, like putting out a tweet and being like, "Oh hey, I'm gonna be in a thing. I can't talk about it yet though, but I've been cast for something." Um, like
Like to generate
LinkedIn,
interest kind of thing, or
yeah, basically, yeah. So like, or like putting out even just videos, with like you talking about your experience as a voice actor and how you found things and how things have gone for you. Um, and then yeah, stuff like different websites to sign up for, where to go for. I just signed up for one today that I put out some auditions for, called voices.com, which you can make an account for free, but you can only get auditions if you're privately invited unless you pay a yearly fee. Um,
no?
but which which I decided to jump in feet first with it because I had a look through, and if I'm cast, it's pretty decent. Um,
So
like
it's legit. You're
yeah. It's used by actual thing. It's not just like, oh, here's this sketchy website. It's one that's used by actual like voice actors and businesses and all that. So
so one of the techniques. Let me verify this. So one
mhm.
of the techniques is if you get like cast in something, to kind of tease it, right?
Yeah, to be like, oh, something like awesome, like there's something coming up that's pretty cool. Um,
Something
exactly.
like
So yeah.
uh, I'm so subtle. um, so you feel like you're getting it's worth the classes are worthwhile.
Oh
The
yeah.
voices.com, is it just voices.com?
Yeah, voice.com. Yeah,
Voice.com.
it's for a yearly premium account, which allows you to like audition for stuff without being like personally invited. So any like public calls you can go out for, as well as like some stuff to do with like payment. Was It was $500.
Oh, oh,
But for a year, yeah, which like £369, which is a lot of money. But I've put out two auditions, which if I get, I will get. Say I get them both, and they're both happy with the performance and all that. Um, One will give me $400, another one's like 270 something dollars. So if I get stuff, it'll work out. If I
it's
don't,
it's a calculated risk, right? And
yeah, yeah, and
kudos
it's
to
for a
you
full
for
year.
and kudos to you for being brave enough to try it and believing in yourself, um, and just like you said, jumping in feet first. Um, because another thing, right? And again, this is just me spouting from whatever my limited experience is it does seem like um, the people that the people that are doing this, especially at least in games, right? Uh, they tend to find people that they like and then work with those people a lot, right? So like getting in, like getting your foot in the door is the goal, right? Even if you
Yeah,
are maybe, I mean, I hate, I really, yeah, I'm reticent to even say this, but because I know that like having someone like, someone saying like, oh, can you do some art for me on spec? It'll be featured and your name will get out there or whatever like that. Like that is a
mm,
really kind of sleazy move, right? To try and
payment and
get,
exposure.
yeah, paying an exposure, a really kind of sleazy tactic. Having said that, um, for voice work, it seems like it's not so much like you get paid an exposure, um, but maybe you would get paid maybe a little less than you might want to get paid, but then also you will then be on this person's radar, um,
Yeah.
uh, just because, like I've said, the game companies that I've worked with, they typically reach out to the same people that they've worked with before. And then, there are corporations that will then, uh, that represent people that will then present, here's a group of 10 people that they curated. Um,
Mm,
I don't know how they do that. They may do that through a system like the one that you're using, um,
mm.
but that they curate and they just kind of present. And I can, even in doing that, I remember like looking through them and then being like starting to recognize names and be like, oh yeah, I've seen this person. This person keeps popping up like for every time we're casting a voice role, this person's name is in there. So either they know somebody somewhere along the line,
Mm.
or they're that good. And a lot of times they're that good, right? And they're just
Yeah.
really versatile and can read for a lot of things. But it does seem like it's like a little bit of like a club, that you got to
Yeah,
kind of get into. Um,
it's definitely one of those things where like if you know people, it can open doors. It doesn't guarantee anything. So like just because I know Antonio, the guy who voices Era, that is no guarantee that if Digital Extremes put out another update and they're like, hey, we're looking for voices, he can't just go, oh hey, yeah, this Lady Nerevar, she's pretty good at voice acting. You should get her in. It's not going to do anything. But like if you know through auditioning and doing stuff, I rack up like a good reputation on these sites, and there's like a good amount of like referrals, like hey, they got the stuff in quick and it was good quality, then people will start to take notice of that.
because a lot of times, like you just need to be in the, like just get in the room, right? You need
Yeah,
to be in
yeah.
that that folder of names, that of MP3 files of whatever the auditions are, right? You need to be in that folder. And if I'm going to be really like really cynical and really kind of crappy about the process, um, alphabetically, if you're closer to A than Z, it probably helps, right? Because, I mean, depending on how serious, like a lot of, a lot of people who cast voices for games, they may not be that serious about really seriously vetting the voices that come in. They may just be like the first one they hear that they think is good, they'll be like, okay, that one works, right? And then
Mm.
move to the next character. Okay, that one works, right? And generally, they're gonna go in some kind of order. Um, and I'm, I remember reading somebody from Eight Is Enough, an actor from Eight Is Enough, Willie Ames. He changed his name to Ames. That's spelled Ames, Aames, so that he would always be at the top of sheets if they went by like the last name. I'm
God's
not
sake.
suggesting that you should change your name to
Oh
Lady
yeah.
Erevar or something.
Yeah. Like
um,
I mean my legal, well, not quite legal, but thingy, like initials are AB. So
Look at that. You're
so
that
yeah, already
you're
works quite
set,
well.
right?
Yeah.
If you could start your name with a number, even better, right? Because then you
Full on Elon
automatically go to the
Musk.
top of the folder. um, well, I I I'm encouraged and heartened by hearing that, and I really, really hope. Let me ask you,
Mhm.
and I'm not. This is not. I'm not trying to like think negatively or anything like that. But
Mhm.
let's say you get to the end of the year, and maybe
Yep.
you've had. Let's say that you've had people who have been like, "Can you send us another test?" Like the equivalent of a callback, right?
Yeah.
Still didn't get the job, but had a couple of callbacks. Would you do it again?
I'm not sure. I think it would depend on how much I felt I've grown, because I think even just in the short time I've been doing it, I've learned a lot. So if I've constantly learned and I don't feel like I've got into a rut, then I think I would probably try again. Because
Can you
there'll
pay
be
monthly?
opportunities always. No, I think it's just a one-time payment. And that's
Bummer.
it. So which otherwise, yeah, it'd be easier to take the hit.
Yeah.
But I guess once a year, it considering the amount of people pay on there, it should be fine. And plus the range I have, I should be able to find a role somewhere.
When did you
Like
start? Was it like this month, literally, like this?
like today was when I signed up,
Oh
and I've already
wow.
sent out 2 auditions. So yeah.
Oh well, I I hope that you stick around, and when you blow up, you still will
Hell yeah.
show up from time to time. And if you can, you probably won't be allowed to like do the voices that you're doing or anything. But after
Uh,
things come out, maybe,
maybe.
yeah.
I mean, if I may I drop my character demo reel in the chat?
I would, yeah, I would, yeah. Please, please.
There we
Wait,
are.
how would you
I've
do
put it
that?
in.
Wait, what? Like a
I just
link?
put a link. I just put a link, a YouTube link.
Oh, okay, okay. Can you
Yeah,
do?
I didn't like do anything special.
What's your favorite voice? What's your go-to voice?
Oh God, it depends. Because there's 6 voices in there. Um,
Can you,
I think. Oof, hmm. I'm trying to think. It depends, because I guess like, there's like this general voice that I go for. Or I can be a little bit more sultry with it, you know. Or if like I did the other day, running D&D, scare the shit out of my players, uh, I can bring it here.
holy wow, that was really good. And
So
you didn't just hit like a pitch shifter or something, right? You just did
no,
that.
I do have a voice mod thing, but that mic is not currently set to use, so and it's off at the minute. So yeah, that is.
Could you do that one more time?
I want to see if I can see something cool. Hmm.
I have looked beyond the double red doors. I have seen you, sailor.
You're hired. That's incredible. That is really, really good. That is frightening. But frightening, and I love it.
And then I can shift over to this.
But that you've got the entire range covered, right? That
Oh
is
yeah.
like what else is there? Right?
Um, I can be a bit old, and would you like to buy any potions? Um,
Oh my god! I need to. I need to. I need to take classes. Can I
hey,
take classes
if you
from
need, if
you?
you ever need voices for anything, let me know.
I do. I mean, I need voices all the time. Um,
Well,
hmm.
hey.
Hmm.
I mean, guaranteed with this kind of range, at some point I'm going to be hired to be in like a hetero relationship with myself where I'm voicing both characters. Guaranteed.
Well, according to that super memey popular story, The Egg, we are all one person, right? Living, reincarnated, living the lives of ourselves and everyone around us. So we're always in relationships with ourselves anyway, along different timelines. Hey, do you know that story that I'm talking about?
Vaguely, I think I've heard something similar. Yeah,
Yeah, it got,
where it's
got very
like
popular
some.
at one
Yeah,
point.
like
It's the
it
guy
doesn't.
who wrote The Martian, but it's based on uh, some other more traditional religious beliefs, but
Uh,
overrated. um, wow, that is amazing, Lady Nerevar. Thank you for sharing your talent with us. That made me happy.
hey, good.
That was
That's the
great.
plan.
Does anybody have any questions they'd like to ask Lady Nerevar? Or
Yeah.
can you take a question or two?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
100%.
I guess people ask questions, whether you're speaking or in chat. So there might not be.
Yeah.
Let's wait a moment and
Yeah. I
see.
was flicking through, and there's people commenting
Pazuzu's
on my
Potion
hair.
Palace. That is that's what that voice sounded like. Yeah. Um. Oh, the link didn't work. Apparently.
Oh, did it not? Oh, it should
Yeah.
have.
They're asking for the title of your demo reel.
Um, it's just this. I'll just put it in chat. And I'll be the one with my profile picture. Everyone's just posting bits from that thingy, that potion seller meme. For God's sake, Poppy.
There you go.
How did
Oh
I become
yeah,
so cool?
right. Ashley Bell. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
You will float to
AB.
the top. And with the versatility that you have, I can't imagine like you, it would just be like whatever you're doing, I can read for it, right? Like
Yeah,
I would think
pretty
like
much.
there's not something outside of that range that you just displayed there. Um, you can do accents. You do accents.
I can do a couple. So like there's a bit more of a traditional Eastern European Russian, not 100% authentic, but it kind of works. Um, and then you can go for more of a posh British, like received pronunciation. If you really want to sound upper class. Um, then you can kind of go for more of your typical Western, like like your out Wild West, catching them bandits. Um, I'm not sure I've got any others. I think that's kind of the main ones. I think
That's pretty
I've
good.
I've tried to do a South African, but it's not the 100%.
That's pretty good too. And South African is a tough one to pin down, right?
Yeah, it's weird.
Um, but yeah, wow. I'm very, very impressed. That is really cool. I
Oh,
wish that I could
it's
do voices like you do, or accents like you do. Even that would
um,
be nice. But it's also fun to do bad accents.
oh yeah, to like
Like
really go hammy.
as long as you know, like my livelihood doesn't depend on it, so I can afford to screw it up and sound like an idiot. Um, oh, long time listener Ollie thought he would say hello. Oh
Hey.
no, oh, missed it, of
Oh,
course. What?
no.
Okay. Ollie 667. Hello. Ooh, good to see you.
Hello, Ollie.
Um, yeah, and Chels wants you to teach your powers. So, uh,
Okay. It's mainly what have I had? Several months of vocal therapy, vocal coaching, and just practice, I guess. That's all
do
I've really done.
you
And sorry, what?
do you practice? Do you like kind of?
Sometimes it's mainly because um I went through like a couple of months of vocal therapy to like be able to reach like an authentic sound. Like so, like if I were to drop like completely relax my voice, it kind of sounds like around here, which is like not too much different, but like it sounds uh like quite different. But then I've learned how to lift it up a bit, but push the resonance forward, so it's like kind of nose front of my lips, kind of, which makes it sound more like authentic. Does that make sense? So it's just a
Does
lot of practice, really.
do you have any thoughts on Elizabeth Holmes? Do you know who
Elizabeth
Elizabeth
Holmes.
Holmes is?
That name sounds familiar.
She was the CEO of Theranos Corporation.
Yes, that's who it was. Yeah, she did. She put her voice low, didn't she, to sound more like authoritative and
Well,
like.
this is yeah, this is the what they say is that she like was walking around with her voice very very low like this so that she sounded authoritative and people would take her seriously. And then there were a few moments where they were like, "Oh, but we caught her out in this part," and then
Yeah,
they played it, and it was just like she got excited about something for a moment, and I heard it, and I was like, when I get excited about something, my voice, like just then, like my voice goes up
yeah,
too, right? Like I don't know, like to me, maybe she does. Like if honestly, like if I were a woman who was a CEO of a tech company, now, all right, yes, this was a fraudulent company misrepresenting everything that they did, but I mean, assume that if Theranos actually could do what it claimed that it could do, I don't think her lowering her voice or trying to sound more forceful uh, is a reflection of her at all. It's a reflection of the people around her and, you know, obviously
yeah,
society around her that she felt like, and not that she felt this, but that she needed to do this to be taken seriously. And so she was
yeah.
taken seriously and she ripped everybody out.
Yep.
uh, but the voice, I don't think the voice part was like they were trying to make that like she's even a fraud in her voice. And to me, it just kind of felt like that's not, you know, you can't
Yeah,
really draw that.
like I
You're actually weakening the real crap that she
issue.
did by
Yeah,
trying to equate that with, oh, she talked with a low voice when maybe she didn't have such a low voice. You know,
yeah.
whatever.
I
F
think
you.
she maybe like did it to like help, but I don't think it was like the crux. It wasn't like the keystone in everything.
Right.
Um,
Exactly.
So yeah. Oh god, there's quite a few questions I've missed out on.
Oh, I didn't see these.
Oh god. Let's see. So how did I become so cool? I don't know. I'm an accent vampire. I'm a big nerd. I'm not super cool.
What is
Oh yeah,
this?
the right.
Pavi talking while
Oh,
You mean like this?
what do you mean?
Like a thing?
But is just normal where? Where is that normal to talk while inhaling?
yeah, yeah. I do that to like do like if you've ever played like World of Warcraft,
Oh,
the
that hurts.
Arakoa, like that kind of noise.
But what, Pavi? Where are you from? And do
Isn't
they
it
really
Finland?
actually inhale when they speak? Because that is, I don't know.
Hmm, not
Okay, here's
sure.
a voice roll question.
Oh,
My partner's been waiting on me to finish her reel for 2 years, but she has so little work that actually cutting something. That's not a question. Oh, it's one of two. Sorry.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm. I just did what best for composing a reel in your sparse filmography or filmography. If it's like actual like physical acting, like recording on a camera, I don't know. All I did for my demo reel was just like write out some basic dialogue myself. Like nothing super fancy. And then just acted it. That was kind of it. Like so the first one is just like general sci-fi dude like on a ship, and then the next one's like a villain being defeated, and I went for like the hammy like World of Warcraft kind of style.
and you wrote the
Um
lines as well?
yeah, it was just like super basic stuff like I'm trying to think of what was it's like the like the one was a waitress, and it was like just, oh hi, welcome to Relia's Roast. Today's special is the was it Nyarlathotep nachos with deep sauce, and it was just like a load of references to Lovecraft stuff. um and that was kind of it, you
Well,
know.
to be
You
able to say those names in itself is a feat. I'm
but
still
yeah.
looking here for Pavi is not. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Culture
I've
shock.
been shocked by the fact that there's a place where people inhale when they talk, but where?
Yeah. What are the other ones? Weirdest role I've done. I I don't know. I've auditioned for a few different roles of like varying age and sex. I think the weirdest one I maybe not the weirdest. I don't know. I've applied for like demons and stuff, and one I had to be kind of seductive-ish, like thing in the way I spoke. Um,
So you had to do
so I guess
a demon, but a seductive
kind of,
demon.
kinda. It was like a snake woman. So like, it was all like the same lines for each of them. So it was something like uh, what would I'll find them because I was looking at it before. Where are we? Yeah, I've got the page up now actually. Yeah. So it was stuff like thingy, thy fate is sealed, fool, and that kind of thing. To
Yeah,
like
I
the
like
be
that.
all like watching, yeah. And then there was one because it's a snake person. I was like, there shall be no. Oh no, that's not the one. Yeah, like hell shall soon claim thy remains, wretch. You know.
And sibilance is like a big thing in the ASMR community. So that would probably go over really well if you were
Oh,
if you
I could branch out.
have any interest in being starting an ASMR channel.
All my channels got on right now is like just shit posts. So,
Those are good too. And
um,
Chels, I've heard you
mm,
talk. I don't know what you're talking about. You articulate perfectly. Um, people
yeah.
and Poppy still has not. Poppy
Also,
still has not answered me. She keep the the more our voices
what's
drop.
this drop?
But where, Poppy?
What do you
Who
like?
inhales when they speak?
Also, what is PG? I've not heard of Rai Takahashi. Are they like a person? I've not heard of them.
Where
Rai Taka.
is?
Oh, a Japanese voice actress. Ah, I have not heard of them. It was like quite early on up, but I kept thinking about it and then just never got a chance to ask. But yeah, no,
Just like a
I've
really
never
good
heard of them.
voice actor.
Yeah, they
That-
must be. Look like they've been quite a few things.
Oh,
Oh,
warm
they're
up
thing.
exercises.
Ah.
Do
Oh,
you,
warm-ups.
do you do like red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather?
Normally all I do is two things that I picked up from vocal therapy, which is basically just humming and sirening. So for the hum, it's just and just holding it so you can feel your nose vibrate or like your lips vibrate.
Mm,
And then yeah, pretty much just like that. And then the other sirening is where you either start low or high. I don't think it really matters. It's like say starting high and you go low and then back up again. It's like and just do that over and over.
I'm not gonna do that, but that's cool.
So yeah,
And that just sort of like relaxes your pharynx or
yeah,
your larynx or something. And
yeah.
do
So
you
yeah,
ever get into like I find like sometimes like sometimes I find like I'll do a voice and it'll actually sound pretty good, and I'll have had no idea what I did or necessarily even like a plan going into it, and it just kind of comes out, and then I'll try to recreate it and I can't. Like when I was doing the playthrough for that Disco Elysium,
Mm.
I was doing a voice for one of the characters in there that people seem to like, and I went back and listened to it and I was like, oh yeah, that's a good voice. Can't do it. I can't do that voice. I don't know what I was like. I certainly didn't plan to do that voice because I have no idea where that came from, and I couldn't reproduce it. So do you ever find that like sometimes if you just don't think about it at all, and
Oh
you're
yeah.
just like, I'm just want to do like I'm just gonna do a voice and I'm just gonna go, and then maybe you'll like get into a groove, kind of.
Yeah. That was one of the things I keep learning with Antonio. Pardon me. With the like first lesson when he was sort of going through like doing emotion stuff, I kept like flubbing a line, like not like ruining it, but like it just came across like flat until like he was like, right, okay, what annoys you? Like, what's something that's bugged you before? And I was like, oh, my little brother's a piece of shit. Like he's just annoying. Um, so like, okay, cool. Like think about that. Like what's something that's really bugged you? And like went with that, and then kind of like got me talking. I was like, yeah, he's done this, and then he did that, and then like, all right, go, and just had me like read the line just straight off without thinking about it. And I came off of it right there, worked completely fine. But when I was stuck thinking about how to say it, it just wouldn't work. It just came out like really wooden.
So it's breaking through the cerebral and just accessing
Yeah,
the
just
Broca's area
yeah,
directly or whatever, and just
yeah, just like
letting it
going with the flow of the emotion, just
yeah.
letting it out and not thinking about how to make it sound like that emotion.
And I would imagine then the trick is for professionals, right, would be the ability to do that on cue and reproduce it on cue,
Mm.
right? Because like it doesn't do you any good if you do a voice and then they're like, yeah, that voice, and then you're like, oh, well, I don't know if I can do that voice again.
Yeah,
That was a one-time deal. I'll do something
yeah,
that's
and
kind of close, but it's not quite the same. Um,
yeah.
but oh man, well that is awesome. Um, I'm happy for you, and uh, I hope that you get cast in tons of things. Like,
Thank you.
is it mostly game work? Does it seem like, or is it?
Um, I'd love to do a lot of game work, but I think it's mainly going to end up being, at least for like money's sake, it'll be a lot of like commercially stuff and like
Mm,
internal business stuff.
right,
Um,
right.
but if the chance comes up for games, I will 100% go for it for like every role. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Here, best of luck to you, Lady Nerevar, and
Thank you.
I hope that it works out, and you deserve it. I mean, you sound amazing. So,
Thank you.
um, and thank you for calling, and thank you for always hanging out. And I know it's like 3 a.m. there, isn't it?
Two. It's not that bad.
It's still pretty bad. All right. So say goodnight, and thank you again for calling, and thank you for
No
cheering
worries.
me up,
Doing great.
which
Hell yeah.
was fantastic. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
That was great. That absolutely cheered me up. Let's see who else we got here. Who else we got? I'm gonna take down. Let's see, take that down. See who we got here. Let's see. We're gonna do this. Do this. Oops. Oh, Nicholas. Okay, your roommate's partner came back, so you're not gonna ask him. All right, I was about to send to Nick, but circumstances have conspired. Yeah, those were great voices. I wish I could do voices like that. That would be great. All right, we'll see if somebody else calls. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like tonight, I'm not like super. I'm not super on tonight. I'm just sort of blah. oh. But I wanted to. I knew if I didn't stream, that it would. It's like if I do something and I keep it up and I don't miss it, it's like keeping the house clean, right? Like if my room in my house is clean, it's very easy for me to keep it clean. I'm great at that. But the moment, like if I'm living with somebody else, or if I sort of have a lapse and let things get a little bit messy, once things get like a little bit messy, I just let it all go to crap. Like it's either, so I basically exist in one of two states, and that is not immaculate, but pretty clean and a total mess. My sink is never like half full, it seems. It's either spotless or completely full, right? So I didn't want to, like, I just figured if I skipped tonight, that would be sort of starting the beginning of the mess in the house. And it would be very easy for that to spiral out of control. So we have someone joining us now who you all may remember. It was actually quite a while last time we spoke. But it is Jason. Hey, Jason.
Hola, sir. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
Good. Just got off of a phone call with my brother, who's a hardcore Trump supporter. So it was an interesting conversation. Good times.
What was the call specifically regarding Trump, or was it just you all just in touch and
yeah, just touching base in general, but the conversation will always go that way, right? Because he asked me, he was like, hey, is LA still in lockdown? And I'm like, yeah, its numbers are pretty bad out here. And he immediately was like, yeah, I don't believe it's a real virus. And then boom, we went right down that path.
Oh wow. Right. So not only a Trump supporter, but a coronavirus hoax supporter?
Yeah, just like all the videos that you see online of like hardcore Trump fanatic people, like, yeah, he does it all of it.
Can you say what state he lives in?
New Mexico.
Oh, okay, so that's
he's
pretty...
outnumbered.
Yeah. So, oh yeah. When's the last time you saw him?
It's been about 1.5 years now. I went there for a secret rendezvous with my mom to help her out. But I didn't visit anybody else. She needed some help around the house and stuff. So I went back home, did that, and yeah, I didn't see any friends or anything.
So when you do see your brother, did you say older brother or younger brother?
Yeah, he's older. The youngest of 3 brothers. He's the middle.
Oh, so you're the baby.
I'm the baby, the biggest baby.
That's cute. So when you do, is your eldest brother? This is too much family talk. I don't want to.
No, that's.
I guess yeah. I'm curious, but I'm curious about the family dynamics when you have right wing and left wing together, especially now. Like it wasn't a big deal, 5 years ago, but now it is, right? Like now people aren't. And not just because of the coronavirus, but people aren't like talking to each other as much or getting together for the holidays because of the amount of polarization that exists between the two sides. So I'm curious, like your eldest brother, who's the black sheep of the family? Are you the black sheep, or is your middle brother the black sheep?
I think the middle brother. So here, I would say the only, like, our family is super not political at all. Like we don't. I think that for the majority of most of our lives, we never talked about the president. We never talked about the government in general, just, Senate, the House, nothing. It was never in the conversation. But my oldest brother and my mom kind of traditionally have been reliant on the government for assistance. So that's the only interest they have in it, right? It's like, oh, are they going to cut benefits of this or that? My brother Basil, he's the middle one. he's the one that's a hardcore Trump supporter. I think that he took such a hard turn because he saw that our family has always kind of been dependent on the government for assistance, and he was just like, no, I'm done with it. And I think that's why he went down that road. And the only time I became political at all was just, you get up there in years and just things start to register in your brain a different way, and so now I have a working understanding of the government, and I'm definitely doing my part to try and learn about what's going on out there. And I'm not left or right. I'm kind of a weirdo that sees the value of both sides, in different aspects. So, but I definitely, in this election and the previous one, definitely a hardcore
There's
Democrat.
an interesting catalyst, though. I mean, in a lot of ways, right? People rebel from their upbringing or what the norm is of the rest of their family, right? They want to swing the other way, for one reason or another. But reliance on social programs or social assistance, to go from that to go all the way to the other side, that's pretty drastic. Like I could see it maybe starting Basil. His name's Basil.
Basil, yeah. It's
Basil?
probably Basil. I don't know. My mom, I think she was doing a lot of acid when she had my brothers, and then just calmed down with me. So my oldest brother, his name's Lincoln, and then Basil, and then just boring old Jason. Come on.
Well, biblical, right?
All right, yeah.
When I think, the reason I say Basil is because I think of Basil Fawlty, because all I ever think about are, when it comes to that kind of stuff, is BBC shows and, of course, John Cleese, right? So, but Basil, yeah, that's sort of like, you think of like Basil or Basil Rathbone or Basil. I know the herb is pronounced basil, at least here. I don't know if the herb is actually pronounced basil in the UK. It would be weird if the herb was pronounced basil, but the name was pronounced basil. So probably the herb is pronounced basil in the UK. That seems to make the most sense. But with that name, it seems like you'd kind of fit right in with the sort of the 1%, right? The sort of basil, that kind of. That was my attempt at a posh voice.
We're weirdos in our family. We don't call each other by our names. We always call each other just brother or mom. I've never said, "Hey Basil, how are you?" I always said, "Hey brother, what's going on?" And I'd say that to both brothers. So we're always, all three of us, talking just, "Hey brother, brother." It's confusing.
Is that unusual? I don't know that it is. I'm trying to think. No, well, at least for me, I call my sister by her name, but I mean, everyone calls their mom, right?
Yeah.
Very few people, unless they're estranged, right, might sort of veer into the first name territory or the Mrs. So-and-so territory. But anyway, yeah, so that you had an interesting phone call with your brother.
Yeah, it was good.
Does it at least end okay, or do you all like end every call and does someone hang up? I think.
No. We've never let anything come between us, apart from internal family things. So like any of our opinions of the outside world or whatever, it's like, hey, you can believe whatever you want. I'll believe whatever I want. But at the end of the day, we're family, we're blood. So yeah.
That's cool. That's good. And you live in LA, where it's pretty bad right now.
Yeah. It's scary to go to grocery shopping, but I mean, you got to get the ramen noodles, man.
Well, Bruce Willis apparently has no problem going into Rite Aid, maskless.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
Today. And the defense was, well, he is unbreakable, right? There were actually some funny responses to that. It was, sort of, it turns out Alan Rickman was the hero and Bruce Willis was the villain in Die Hard after all. But I wondered about that. Like that was a weird thing, because he even had like a gaiter or a bandana around his neck. He just didn't have it pulled up.
Yeah.
I mean, of all places, really, like if you're going out and then you're going into a closed area, going into it was a Rite Aid, so like a drugstore, like one of the places people go to get COVID tests, to get COVID treatments, to get, cold and flu treatments. Like that seems like of all the places, like even if you're like, well, I wear masks when I wear masks when I think it's risky, right? Like, I don't wear masks all the time. You have those people. But I would think that a Rite Aid or any kind of convenience store that includes a pharmacy and cold medication and fever reducers, right? Anytime you walk into a place like that, I would be definitely mask up. But of course, mask up really doesn't really protect you. It more protects other people. So
Yeah.
perhaps Bruce Willis just doesn't give an F about anybody but himself.
Mhm.
And then I remember that there was a tweet from, I'm not a Kevin Smith fan. I don't know if anyone in the chat is a Kevin Smith fan, but apparently Kevin Smith made a movie with Bruce Willis. It's on the tip of my tongue. I forget. Was it Red State or something? He made a movie. No, it was something
Kevin
about a
Smith's
cop
from
or something.
Where right?
Yeah, Kevin
is
Smith
that where the
did
name? Okay.
Clerks. But he did a movie with Bruce Willis, and at the end of the movie, he tweeted, "I want to thank everyone on the film set. We wrapped. Everyone was great except Bruce Willis, who was a total asshole."
Wow.
And that's pretty,
didn't know
like,
that.
you got to give credit to Kevin Smith there, because he's shooting himself in the foot a bit, right? Because he's making a pretty definitive statement about an established Hollywood actor who probably has some pull. But apparently not such a great guy. But yeah, so Ella, I'm sorry, I'm tangenting everywhere, all over the place. What would
That's
you
good.
like
That's
to
what a
talk
conversation with me is always like. It
Is
just
it? Well,
goes.
Well, where's you now? You take it somewhere.
All right. So the reason I got on the call is I didn't recently discover this. I want you to know this. So my girlfriend, she introduced me to Japan, 2015, and it was a life-changing event.
I don't know what you're saying right now. She introduced you to Japan.
Yeah. We went to Japan. It was my first time out of the States.
All right. Okay.
And
not the concept of Japan.
No. So we went there, and it was life-changing because everything about that country I found to be amazing. But the one thing that I wanted to bring up is the bidet. I recently ordered a bidet here because of the shortages of toilet paper, and I got sick of it, and I was like, all right, we're going to handle this. And I remember when I was in Japan, it was bliss. I mean, literally your eyes go up and you see the universe and you accept everything. But I wanted to see if you've ever partaken in
if
the
I've
bidet.
ever used a bidet?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Yes.
But
Are you a believer?
Bingo card time. The last time I lived in Miami, which was from 2016 to 2017, the apartment I was in had a bidet. So I rarely used it. But we didn't have toilet paper shortages then.
Yeah,
also.
that's true.
Also, I guess I'm not, like, for me, it was actually made the process longer.
Yeah, because there's a drying element and
yeah. So it seemed like more of an inconvenience to me than a help. And also, I don't know, like, is it the extra feeling of you feel cleaner using a bidet? Is that the?
I definitely feel I mean, I feel cleaner anyway, because I think Oprah said it, and it made sense to me at the time. She was like, if your dog used the bathroom on the floor and you've cleaned it with just tissues, I don't think anybody would look around and be like, "Is that clean?" And so it made sense to me. I was like, "Yeah, just a little bit, throw in a little water in there and a little pressure to do
So a
some
lot of
extra
people use
scraping."
wet wipes, which cause
Yeah, yeah,
these giant, I forget the phrase that they use for them, but like these globules that get
yeah.
stuck in
In
the
the
sewage
sewer.
systems, these
Mhm.
giant fat burgers, I think they're called, or something like that. Or they
Yeah, I've
contribute to
seen
that.
pictures.
Yeah, even the ones that say that they're flushable, but a lot of people use wet wipes, and I will admit that you know, um, yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any denying that like introducing a solvent into any cleaning process, um, aids
Uh,
in the cleaning process. But generally, I stick with the tried and true methods, and uh, I'm a heretic for saying this, but I also have the toilet paper over instead of no under instead of over. Um, it's funny I had to think about that because if it's over, you're always going to over pull. You're going to get too much. You always get too much. If you're under, it always kind of retracts back a little bit. If you're over, it always kind of does the opposite. So yeah, I'm generally a traditional dry toilet paper user who threads his toilet paper roll underneath.
I
Um,
respect that.
so
I
you
can't knock you. You know what I mean? We're all our own people. So
look, yeah, I mean, I hope that you can find some space in your heart to to forgive me
always,
um,
always.
so you just ordered a bidet? Is that what you said?
Yeah, we ordered like just like a normal cheap version. It's not the one of the fancy ones that has like a
But you went
heater and a fan and it sings opera to you. Nothing like that.
but you went to Japan in 2015.
Yeah, it's amazing. The country's so clean. Everybody's so nice and respectful.
Do you think that's a direct
Um,
result of the bidet? Is that
I think it has a very large, you know what I mean? There's a large percentage of that reason is the
there's
bidet.
some like subconscious boost that you get from feeling exceptionally polished? Polished undercarriage makes you more affable, I suppose.
hmm
But why the 6 year interval between the visit and the bidet?
Just, uh, just time. When you're younger, you have the ability to just kind of be like, all right, I'm going to go to Japan for a month or something. Now that I'm older and I'm in my earning years, it's harder to find the time to travel over there. And we're weirdos. We don't want to go for just like a week or something. When we went last time, we went for a month. So we
That's the way
really
to
want to go
experience
and
someplace.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
the way to do it. But no, what I meant was you went in 2015, right? But you're just getting a bidet now.
Oh yeah. Well, because when I got back to America, it was just like that familiar groove you get into. You just don't think about that stuff anymore. So it wasn't as
Nasha said, I didn't want to say Rebecca. I'll let Rebecca speak for all of us.
yes.
But anyway, I'm sorry I interrupted you. You got back and
It was just like being in your home. It's just I didn't think about it anymore. I was just like, oh, I'm home, so this is what I'm gonna do now. So
right.
you know,
This is the
yeah.
culture here. I'll reassimilate and I will try and push from my mind the image of feeling clean and observing the stars. You did say something about observing the stars. Did you also have like a a skylight or a moonlight, as they would call it?
Nope. I haven't
Yeah.
been to the Great North, so I haven't seen anything magical yet. So I haven't assimilated that yet.
No,
Just
no
regular
aurora
old light.
borealis. As
No aurora borealis.
yeah. Did your bidet or does your bidet use warm water?
It has the functionality, but we're in an apartment that only has the cold water feature, like spigot. What was the thing? Like nozzle, whatever. So it has to be cold. But
So
after the first second, you immediately acclimate and you're like, oh, okay, it's fine,
yeah,
we're
but
good.
that first second is and when I was in Miami, when the last time I lived in an apartment that had a bidet, it was also cold. You
Yeah.
couldn't, and it doesn't matter. Like, right? There's no such thing as instant hot water. The
No.
first blast that comes out is always going to be cold, unless you have
True.
some kind of reservoir that's preheating the water all the
Yeah.
time, which would just
That was
be
the case when I went to Japan,
prohibitive.
actually.
What is it?
Is
Is like the first hit is like
first hit
lukewarm?
because they have two different ways that, well, at least the apartment I went to, there's a little control mechanism on the wall that you push the button when you allow hot water in the apartment. So it doesn't matter if you want to take a shower or whatever. You push the hot water button, and then it warms the water up in the building. It takes like 30 seconds or whatever. So when you get to the bathtub, it's already hot by the time you get there.
Oh.
Plus, it was a Toto, was like the name of the brand of the toilet, and that one
I'm
had a
familiar with
built-in,
that.
yeah, it had a built-in mechanism as well. So even if
So-
the apartment didn't have the superheated water right away, the Toto already has a small reservoir that's always being heated and stuff.
Wait a minute. So Toto was the brand of the toilet in Japan?
Yeah,
Because Totos exist here too.
yeah, but it was. I looked it up. Their little bidet seat thing was like 300 and some bucks, and I was like, nah, because again, my apartment didn't have an electrical outlet, and it doesn't have the hot water nozzle thing. So why spend 350 bucks on wasted capability when I could just be like, oh, the Tushy for 70 some?
You're not plugging a bidet, are you, right now? Like, because right now we have people, Xava, coming to the conclusion.
Let's do this.
They need a bidet.
Once you try it, you never go back.
I, if there are any bidet manufacturers out there who want to be sponsored, I'd be happy to give your bidet a try. Let's put it that way.
You can make an
and-
ASMR video about bidets, just like
I mean, the sound of water, right? That's a common ASMR trigger, right? The tinkling of water or whatever. You could do it outside the context of what normally precedes using a bidet, and it would just be the bidet itself. But I do feel like in order for it to be something that I would ever even consider using, it would have to be instantly warm. So, yeah, I'm like a, I
I
need
respect it.
I need things the way I need them.
Okay.
That was quite a zag. That was definitely. I couldn't have predicted that was the way that you were going to go.
Every conversation with me is going to be something strange and something new. So
I appreciate that, Jason. I think that's great, and I hope that So you haven't gotten the bidet yet? It hasn't come yet.
no, we got it.
Oh,
Super easy installation, and I don't know. It's just I feel so good.
That's just it.
It's like
That's-
like
What do
the nation's going under. Well, at least I could just turn this bidet on.
Oh, you know what I was going to say? I was going to say, like, what about public bathrooms now? But that's not even an issue at the time, or at the moment, it's not an issue. So, but I would imagine that once things open back up and you're going out into the world, you might be like, oh, I don't want to use the public bathroom because they're not going to have a bidet, right? So you might do a little more repressing your bodily functions until you return home. Yeah,
You just do that quick assessment in your brain. Is this an emergency? Nah.
Yeah.
It can wait.
Unless it has to happen, wait until you're with somewhere that has the bidet. That's I think the. Oh boy.
Sorry, all of your viewers. I apologize in advance.
I can't wait to update the description for this particular broadcast after we're done, because after every I have to write like a pre-description before streaming, and then it never matches what actually happens on the stream. So then afterwards I go back and write what actually did happen on the stream, and now I'll be able to say that we spoke at length about bidets and mutually came to the conclusion that well, I guess not mutually. Maybe I need to be open-minded about it and give it another shot. But it would have to be, and this is for sponsors, right? It would have to be instant warm water bidet. That's the line in the sand that I have to draw. because the shock, even if it's just for a second, is not worth it.
Agreed. I hear you.
Cool. Thank you for calling, Jason. And this did distract me and make me feel better. Which I'm pretty sure your last call did the same thing. But you're a comedian. That's right. You do stand up. Or you've done stand up, right?
I've done it. I
Yeah.
do it. That's how I stay in a relationship for 13 years. You got to make each other laugh somehow, right?
That's true. That's an incredibly important component in a relationship, right? Is the ability not to just make each other laugh, but to laugh at things that maybe other people would turn into serious problems. But if you can kind of laugh at those things, then life is easier all around, right?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. Well, I hope you have another, more than 13. Did you say 13 years?
Yeah, 13 plus years, I think.
Wow.
We're stranger people that we don't remember the day, or I think she remembers the year we got together. But it was kind of like I don't know.
But you look pretty young.
I think I'm 39. I have to
You
do the
think?
math.
You do not look 39. Yeah, I would have guessed 30.
It's from all the bacon. It's a preservative, and it's just fills in all the holes of the skin.
Now that's disinformation. I'm gonna have to edit that part out of this.
Take it out.
When you were talking about bidets, everything was fine, but now you start talking about using bacon as a preservative, and you've stepped over the line, sir. And I'm gonna have to say goodnight to you.
All right, have a good one. I'll continue watching, see if anybody else talks about any other wacky things.
Yeah. Thank you, Jason. Night. So I think we all learned a little bit about each other tonight. Maybe a little more than we wanted to about some people and others. And here's the thing, like I even when I was not vegan, I was staunchly against eating bacon or pork because of, and I know it's not really right to sort of rank cruelty and be like, well, yes, eating beef is cruel, but not as cruel as eating pork, which is, chicken is not as cruel as beef, which is not as cruel as pork, or fish is not as, like trying to create this kind of rationalization in your head of the same kind of thing I did when I killed Carl last night, trying to make yourself feel better about this thing that you're doing just because, bacon is amazing. It tastes incredible. I love it. I don't not eat bacon, or I didn't generally not eat bacon because I didn't love it. I freaking loved it. I loved the smell of everything about it. It was strictly because I didn't want to eat pork. And then even when I was no longer vegan, and I've been vegan and or vegetarian on and off for a while, but the pandemic has been, I'm taking comfort wherever I can at this point. So I've had some bacon, specifically in the context of a frittata, right? That has a little, it's a very small amount of bacon, but it's enough that you can, actually it might not be bacon, it might be bacon. I'm gonna have to check that. But I guess my point is just that, man, when you think about, I can't think of anything cruel about bidets except for maybe you'd have to balance water usage against the biodegradability of toilet paper. I don't really know. Shells. My advice would be do not try bacon. although if you've smelled bacon and you haven't like drooled, then you're probably okay. Because if I like smelling bacon is like, if I smell bacon, I kind of almost have to eat it. I almost feel compelled to eat it. So, well, Butterfly Composer, this is very honest. Skilgrim, it's true. It's true. Nothing wants to be there. Lady Nerevar, no. No. Bacon is really... Maybe it's because I deprive myself of it so much, but something about it, like when I have it, I kind of turn into an alpha carnivore in a way. It's all I can think of. So, voice acting, bidets, bacon, being vegetarian. These are all things that cheese is amazing. Do what you need to do. I'm afraid I don't even know what this is. What is halloumi? I don't know if I've just exposed myself as U.S. bacon is different? I didn't know that. Lisa, have not eaten bacon since 1984. Yeah, I think there was like a 20-year period in my life where I didn't eat any bacon. But in the past year or so, I've had bacon a few times. Halloumi's a Greek cheese. Okay, that's probably why. I do love cheese, but I'm pretty, mozzarella, cheddar, Monterey Jack, Havarti, Munster. Havarti I really like Havarti. It doesn't melt that great though. Munster melts. Oh God, Munster is amazing. God. Okay, now I'm hungry, but I'm far less depressed than I was when I started. So thank you all for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. Let's hope that the next time that next Wednesday, it's gonna be, it's inauguration day. Come 7:30, things will be pretty much, I'm sure, resolved. And there's not going to be, I think the inauguration happens at noon or something. I have to check that. But the next time that we speak to or see each other, I'll probably stream Soma. But the next time that we speak to or see each other in this context, Donald Trump will not be the president of the United States anymore. It doesn't matter who is. It just matters that it's not him. So, everybody go have snacks. And even if they're not vegan or vegetarian or not that good for you, cut yourself a break once in a while. Oh man, that's sweet, Hextech. You all help me, so it's definitely a symbiotic relationship, and it's one that I value and appreciate. So thank you all for coming and hanging out, especially tonight. I feel like I needed it, and I will see you all under the next regime. The Biden regime will have begun the next time that I see you. So have a good night, be good to each other, and I'll see you all